welcome back to another Talk Coventry City video. Today we are back with the Championship predictions. After last week, the weekend just gone, I just drew with George. It was 1-1. It means it's still neck and neck between me and the guests. This week I'm joined by Harry. How are we doing, mate?
I'm not too bad, pal, thank you.
Oh, I'm surprised after Coventry's result yesterday that you're not too bad. It was awful, wasn't it?
I wasn't really watching it. I was playing football myself. I wasn't following it. I got back into the car after the game finished. It was like 4-0. Huh.
Let's get straight into it then with the Tuesday night fixtures. So first game is Barnsley versus QPR. Now Barnsley is still chasing that first win, going up against a QPR team that have been a little bit inconsistent so far. I think Barnsley will chase the win in this game, but I think they'll still fail to get it. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw here.
Yeah, I feel like Matt's got it kind of right there. Barnsley seem to be the draw specialists at this point in the season. We've got 6 games, I think 3 of them are draws, or maybe 3 or 4 losses, I'm not quite sure. But they're hard to score against, but they struggle to score themselves. But I think QPR might just have the edge, and I think they'll win 1-0.
Oh, okay. The next game then is Blackburn Rovers, who have just come off the back of that 4-0 win against Coventry, going up against Reading, who are top of the league. So this is actually a really hard game to predict. Reading defensively are fantastic. They've only conceded 1 goal so far, and they're top of the league, and they deserve to be because they've been so good so far. But Blackburn, they're really good on their day. It depends which Blackburn turn up, so I'm going to just be boring and go for a 1-1 draw. Yeah,
it's classic Tony Mowbray, isn't it? When he managed back Cardiff, one week we'd go and destroy Bury 6-1 or something, 6-0, and then the week after we'd go and lose to Gillingham. Reading are just on fire at the minute, so I think probably Reading will just about edge it. I'm going to say 2-1 because Blackburn are too good to write off not scoring.
Okay, so 2-1 to Reading. The next game then is 2 favourites for promotion this season, Brentford versus Norwich City. Now Brentford are starting to hit some form. I know they lost at the weekend against Stoke, but with Ivan Toney they're always going to score goals, going up against the Norwich team that won very late on against Wycombe. And for me, I think Norwich, I think they'll be okay this season, but they haven't started as well as I thought they would. So I'm just going to back Brentford here. I'm going to go 1-0 to Brentford.
Yeah, Brentford, with Ivan Toney, he settled into that squad really well. He is an absolute goal machine at the moment, and I can't see it changing anytime soon. Norwich need to start turning up really, because they've had a so-so start for the players they had when they came down. They've got a very good championship squad, but I'm not quite sure they're Premier League quality just yet. I think they might miss out on playoffs this season. And with this game, I think I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw.
Okay, a 1-1 draw. The next game then is Coventry City away at the Riverside Stadium. Middlesbrough, who are they're doing okay so far this season. I think they're in the middle of the table. They picked up a few decent results, and the thing that I think will tip this game is Championship experience. Coventry are still settling in. Confidence is going to be low after that Blackburn game, and I think Middlesbrough are just going to edge it with the quality they've got. I'm going to go for Middlesbrough to win this 2-1. As a Coventry fan, I'd snap your hand off for a draw.
Yeah, I can only agree with that. The less said about the weekend's result, the better. It was an absolute shocker performance. I think what our main problem is the defence seemed really naive. You look at that Michael Rose challenge, you just need to let him shoot there, because if you take him down, you're going to give him a penalty. They're probably going to score. He could scoff the shot, he could put it over the bar, he could do whatever, but instead what he did was pull him down and get himself sent off. It's that sort of naivety in the Championship that makes me a little bit concerned for the next few weeks. I feel like we're going to lose this one. I'm going to go for 2-0.
2-0, okay. The next game then is Swansea City versus Stoke City. Now Stoke with a very good win at the weekend against Brentford, winning 3-2, and they've picked up some decent results so far. Swansea meanwhile drawing 1-1 at Bristol City, and they also drew 1-1 against Coventry, so that's back-to-back 1-1s, and I think they're going to get a third 1-1 in a row. I'm going to go for Swansea 1, Stoke City 1.
I reckon Swansea have got the edge on this one. I see Stoke at the minute as a low middle table team. Swansea top 8, I reckon. They had a great final match of last season, which I think dragged them into the playoffs on goal difference. And I think they're likely to repeat that sort of performance this season. I reckon they're going to get this one 2-1.
2-1 to Swansea. Okay, the next game then is a match of opposites. It's Wycombe Wanderers, who have lost 7 from 7, going up against Watford Football Club, who have had a very decent start to the season. They drew at the weekend against Bournemouth, conceding very late on. It's a massive David v Goliath sort of game. It's been a very tough start for Wycombe, and I don't know, I just can't see them getting anything here. I think Watford are going to be very strong. I think Watford are going to win this 3-0.
Yeah, hard to argue with that. Wycombe have been bullied since they came to the Championship. Their hoof and hope style of football hasn't worked, and it won't work. They're going to need to find a plan B this season. And Watford are they shouldn't have been relegated from the Premier League last season, in my opinion. They're too good for this league. They're my favourite to go up as champions, I would say. But I don't know. I think 3-1 I'd go for.
3-1 to Watford. Yeah. Okay, the next game then is Birmingham City going up against Huddersfield Town. Now, Huddersfield Town have been quite exciting in a couple of games so far this season. They picked up a couple of decent results, and I can see them getting the win here. I think Birmingham will give them a good game, and I think it could go either way, but I'm going to back Huddersfield to win here. I'm going to go Birmingham 1, Huddersfield 2.
Yeah, Birmingham are just okay, aren't they? They're not going to set the world on fire. They're not going to get relegated. They're a steady team. I feel like Huddersfield is kind of similar, but I think they've just got that little bit more attacking quality. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 to Huddersfield.
Ooh, okay. The next game is quite an exciting one. It's Bournemouth versus Bristol City. Now, Coventry City have played both of these, and Coventry City have lost to both of these. I think this could be quite an exciting game. I think there could be goals in this. Both teams have had a decent start so far. They're both in and around the playoffs. I'm going to go for a Bournemouth 2, Bristol City 2.
Yeah, forget the problems that Cov have with the Wasps. It's the Bees we're struggling with this season. We've lost every B team that we've played. That game against Bournemouth was another howler, another penalty. Bristol City, we gave a bit of a fight. I feel like we could have snatched a draw. I just feel like Bournemouth are slightly better. They've got that star quality up front. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 to Bournemouth for that one.
Okay, next up we've got two experienced Championship teams in Derby County and Cardiff City. I think it could be a tight game. I think they're sort of evenly matched, but based on the fact that Derby have had a bit of a slow start so far with only the one win, I'm going to back Cardiff to get a result here. I'm going to predict Derby 0, Cardiff 1, but this game could go either way, I think.
Yeah, I think Cardiff will take the game by the scruff of the neck a little bit more. Rooney's side at the minute just aren't performing to the standards they were at the end of last season. I struggle to see them picking up many wins if they carry on in this vein of form. I think it's going to be a 2-0 Cardiff.
Okay. The next game then is Luton Town versus Nottingham Forest, and Nottingham Forest are they're definitely doing a lot better since Chris Hughton has come in as the manager. They picked up a few results, but is this one going to be too much for them? Because Luton have been quite good so far this season. They picked up a win against Sheffield Wednesday at the weekend. I think both teams will score, but I'm going to back Luton to edge it 2-1.
Yeah, Forest I think had a shaky start. Their manager came in, the new manager, and his first game in charge, he absolutely pelted the opposition. Quite an easy victory. I feel like they're a team on the up, and I think they'll take this one 2-1.
Okay. The next game then is Preston North End versus Millwall Football Club. Two experienced Championship teams, both been in the Championship for a couple of years now. It's hard to predict this one because Preston, on their day, they can pick up a good result, but then they've lost a lot of games this season which you thought they might have got a result in. Going up against a Millwall team that are obviously quite good. They've had a fairly solid start to the season, to be fair to them. I'm going to say that in this game, I think defences are going to be on top, and I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw.
I have to agree. I watched Preston's game against Cardiff last week. Their attacking was shocking. They just offered nothing for large parts of the game, but their defence were as solid as a brick wall. And I think they'll manage to keep. Who is it they're playing?
Millwall.
Millwall. Start a bit again. Yeah, I watched Preston's game against Cardiff the other week, and their attacking quality wasn't the best. It wasn't very exciting. They didn't really offer much for large parts of the game. But I think they'll keep Millwall at bay, and I'm going to have to agree on a 0-0.
A 0-0 again. Okay, and then the last game is a Yorkshire derby between Rotherham United and Sheffield Wednesday, and it's already a bit of a relegation scrap, I suppose you could say. I mean, Sheffield Wednesday, it's been a funny start for them. At the start you thought, you know what, they look good, they look like they're going to extinguish that -12 in no time, but then they've lost and drawn a few games as well, which you thought they might have got something from. Rotherham have been reasonably good. I think the only one game they've won this season though was against Wycombe on the opening day, so this could be a tight game. I'm going to back the away team, but both teams to score. So Rotherham United 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2.
Yeah, and that victory they got against Wycombe was quite close to the wire. It was, I think, a last 10 minutes goal in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I can't see much coming from them this season. I think they'll be okay. I think they'll survive. But I don't see them winning this one. I don't necessarily see them losing it either. So I think for this one I'll go for a 1-1 because Sheffield Wednesday haven't excited me yet.
Okay, a 1-1 draw. And that rounds up today's video, guys. Make sure to like the video and to subscribe as well. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers now, which is pretty mental because we've just gone past 900. Thanks, guys. I love the support. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree, and we'll see in the next video who got more right. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Peace out.